Welcome back to the channel. We are your Colorado real estate family, and today we're going to be answering a very important question that a lot of our clients and people from out of state have been asking, and that is, why aren't home prices dropping here in Colorado?
All right, let's go.
If you're new to our channel, Chelsea and Pete here, and if you're interested in moving to Colorado, Denver, or any of the surrounding cities, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. We put out 2 videos a week on all the cities here in Colorado.
Yeah, guys, what we like to do is be your boots on the ground experts. That way, if you're looking at moving into Colorado from another state, listen, we're going to give you all that advice, all that insight that you need to know in regards to cost of living. We're talking about activities, home prices. We're going to give you all on this channel right here. With that, licensed real estate agent here, helping you out with all your real estate needs. We're constantly helping all of you who are moving into and around the Denver metro area. We're going to go throw the phone number in right below there. If you're going to call that number or text it, you're going to get Chelsea for the most part. So that way we can help you out with all your real estate needs. Let's go ahead and dive into this video. Why aren't home prices dropping in Colorado?
All right, before we go into the 4 reasons that we believe that home prices are not dropping here, we wanted to talk about one of the myths that a lot of people are saying, and that is we know that home prices are not increasing because of the influx of people moving here to Colorado, which, you know, a lot of people will say like, oh, it's because all these people are moving in. However, that's not actually the facts.
No. And so like 25 of 64 Colorado counties actually lost population between 2019 and 2021. And I think there was only 2 counties, I think it's El Paso and Adams County, are the only 2 that actually show gains from last year. And so it's crazy to think about that. You know, we've always talked about how Denver and all the surrounding areas, all these people are moving into Colorado, when yes, there is, but at the same time, there's also a lot of people moving out. So it's something to kind of put into context when we're talking about the 4 reasons why our prices are going up, and I don't see them going down anytime soon.
Yeah, because a lot of the times when we were asking people, you know, why they thought that we were seeing this increase in our market, and they were like, because so many people are moving here. But when looking at the facts, that's really not the truth.
Yeah. And so quick disclaimer on that too. I mean, anything could happen, right? Like the Fed's about to raise rates, or they're talking about like a 0.5 percentage point this next month. That might soften the market or something like that. But I could tell you right now from my professional experience, we've been talking about when the market's going to drop these last 5 years. When's it going to drop? And I still have buyers to this day who are talking about buying back 5 years ago. They haven't bought yet. And they're saying, I'm just waiting for the market to crash. I'm like, dude, 5 years, it's like now equities have gained so much.
So crazy. Yeah, double-digit gains in the last 5 years. So,
well, I mean, in the last couple of years, you got double-digit gains. I mean, last year you got double-digit gains. So it just keeps going up. And so, like, we're on that whole thing where it's like, if you keep on waiting, are you going to keep on missing out? And so, like I said, we can't predict the future. We don't know what's going to happen, or like wars, who knows what. You don't ever know that. But just from what we could see today, with all the stats that we're looking at today, I don't see it happening.
Me neither. Okay, so we're going to dive into the 4 reasons that we think, though, are increasing our prices here and why we're not seeing a change in the market.
Yep.
So what's the first one?
So the first one we're going to talk about, I mean, the supply chain disruption, right? And with that, materials are going up. So all your new builds, all the new construction, the lumber, all the materials to make your brand new houses, that cost is going up. Also, wages are going up as well too. And wages, guess what? How are you going to pay your contractors if, you know, you're paying them here where they're expecting up here? That's going to raise the prices of the houses. So on your new construction, that's definitely happening. And so also another thing that's coming into Colorado is we're getting a lot more regulations when it comes to the building side of things.
Yes. With
those regulations coming in, builders are also increasing their prices, and so with that also increases the houses that are, you know, the pre-sale or the resales that are surrounding them as well too. So
yes. Okay, and the second thing that we think is raising prices is actually Colorado has had a big old spotlight on it, and for a number of reasons. In fact, Colorado Spring is projected to rank in the 14th hottest markets in the country in 2022, which is huge. And then on top of that, Denver, Lakewood, and Aurora are also projected to be in the top number, I think 48th in the top 100. So those are some big cities here in Colorado that are highly ranked as the hottest markets in the country right now. And so people are seeing that. Why is everyone talking about Colorado? And like, what does Colorado have? And they're getting curious.
Yeah, and that first county that I mentioned to you, El Paso County, Colorado Springs. That's where that's at. And so Colorado Springs is blowing up like crazy. They just announced they're going to be putting a brand new outdoor amphitheater over there. They're comparing to Red Rocks. Listen, I love Colorado Springs, but you can't compare to Red Rocks. Nothing. Red Rocks is the unicorn of amphitheaters, right? Yeah. If you've never been there, I highly recommend watching a concert there. But yeah, like I said, Colorado Springs, they just got a Top Golf down there. Everyone knows if you have a Top Golf that you're freaking hot shit, right? So something to kind of think about.
And then also, I just recently read a stat for you guys to see, in today's market right now, how long are houses staying on the market? And Colorado Springs is very close to Denver and the surrounding cities, but Colorado Springs average is 7 days right now. And so, like I said, Colorado Springs has been growing significantly. We actually have been talking to a lot of our clients that, is it growing so fast that we missed that mark of getting into, they don't see the same gains typically as you would some of the cities up north here, but now they're starting to really gain traction, and it's starting to shine a huge spotlight.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I wanted to buy in the Springs probably like 4 years ago, and now I'm kicking myself in the butt. I'm like, why the hell did I not buy an investment property down there? Because you could have bought something like super cheap down there, and now it's just like it's crazy.
It's competitive.
They're getting competitive with Denver's numbers. So yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just Colorado Springs is hot. So
it's getting hot.
Yep.
It's getting hot.
All right, it's my turn. I wasn't prepared for this one. All right, so we're on number 3. Desirability and high-paying jobs. If you don't know this already, Colorado is bringing a ton of businesses into the state. With that, there's a bunch more high-paying jobs than there was previously. So people, they want those high-paying jobs, and with those high-paying jobs, they want a nicer house, and it's going to keep driving prices up. More competitive when you get in with these other buyers. So, that's just. Like I said, wages are going up in Colorado, and with that, people are willing to pay more for a house, and with that, you get more of these buyers competing.
Well, and also, we are in this time right now where more people are able to work from home than ever before. After the pandemic, we have seen a lot of office spaces no longer existing. People seeing if they, these big companies, like, man, do we really need to be paying this overhead for this place where everyone comes every day?
Office space,
Yeah, and so we're seeing that people are able to work from home. Well, with that being said, they want a house that they feel comfortable working at home. If they have kids, they need a separate space for working and things like that. If they're working with their husband side by side, do they have 2 spaces? Are they in the same space? And so we're seeing people change their housing, even within the state, saying, I'm working from home now, and so is my husband. I need to either upgrade my house or figure out how to be more comfortable working from home. And we haven't really seen any of the payment change from being in the office to at home. And so we're just seeing an increase in those paying jobs. And even because I think they can, without having that big overhead on the office space, being able to pay people more.
Yeah, maybe so. All right.
Okay, so the 4th one, and this is a big one, is our millennials, which I'm a millennial. Our millennial. I know, but people have bad things to say about millennials.
I'm an old millennial. I'm barely a millennial.
There are hardworking millennials out there. So if you don't like millennials, I'm a millennial. You like me, right? You're watching? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so millennials are reaching home buying age. And what did they say?
Well, Colorado home buying age for first-time home buyers. So the average age for first-time home buyers in Colorado is 34. And what's the cohort of millennials? What's their average age right now?
It's 30. And they're actually saying that millennials are they call them the biggest cohort in U.S. history right now.
Yeah.
And they're 30 years old, and the average age is 34. So let's just think about that for a second.
Just line the numbers up, right? It's like, you got your home buying age, and they're
just almost there.
It's like this flood of people just they're inching towards it. So,
and they're the biggest cohort in U.S. history right now. So we're going to start seeing increases and increases and increases. Again, we don't know for sure, and we're just, based off of all the things that we're looking at, we don't have a crystal ball. However, it just shows that we're about to have a bunch of people who are about to buy. Well, the market's definitely reflecting it. Like right now, it's insane to when we're sitting here having buyers bidding on houses and stuff, the amount of people that you're competing with. And so it's just from all the different people competing on that one house, there's not enough inventory. And so you have just sometimes 10 buyers, actually 10's a low number these days anymore, but competing all in the same house. And that just keeps driving the price up because people compete, drives all the numbers up. We're hoping to be honest in the buyer's world. We are hoping that these rates, it's hard because we don't really want the rates to go up, right? However, with rates going up, it will sometimes kick some people or slow people down on buying, and so maybe we'll start to see a little bit more inventory.
With the higher interest rate, think about what that does. It gives you less buying power, right? Because then you could afford less because you have to pay more on your interest rate. And so that's something they're saying that it might, ease out our market and, steady it out a little bit. We've been hearing this for so long. Seriously, there's been so many years, guys, that people have been saying, I'm waiting for the market to soften, I'm waiting for it to do this, and it's not happening. And then they miss out because then they end up getting outpriced off their price point.
Right.
And so it's just something that what's this all boil back to? Supply and demand. That's what it's all about. There's not enough inventory, and there's a ton of buyers in the market, whether they're coming from out of state or if they're staying inside of the state, and that is just driving prices up. All that competition, and that's why they keep going up. As long as that continues, the prices will keep going up. As long as the competition is still there, and I don't see the competition going anywhere.
Especially with these millennials.
Yep.
They're coming.
That's a fact.
Coming in hot.
Yep. Very good. All right, cool, guys. Was that it? I think that was all 4. Yeah, that was all 4.
Those are good 4 reasons.
Yep, very good.
If you have other reasons or any other ideas about why you think this Colorado market is taking sky-high prices, you comment down below. We would love to talk to you about it. Don't get discouraged if you're thinking about buying in Colorado. We are helping buyers every single day, and they are getting into homes and homes that they love. But it's something we have to talk about and be prepared for.
It's a fact. Also, I'm going to put in the phone number again below right there. And like I said, give us a ring or a text if you have any questions or you're reaching out just to move into Colorado. Until next time, we love you. Bye.
Yes, and that is, why aren't Colorado home prices
dropping
here? And if you're interested in moving to Colorado, and
boots on the ground experts, that way you are
so blamed this for a minute, to be honest, before really diving in, but staying for quite a bit of time here, and that is, they are not, how do I say this, down, is because what in the world is wrong with me?